Some problems we face in life do not have solutions. But when it comes to the workplace, almost every problem we go through has a solution. And on My Boss and I, this is what we try to do. Problem of the day. I own a small printing press and the business has been growing steadily. For a while now though, my 3 employees have been acting somewhat distant towards each other. I'm very uncomfortable with the situation as this tension will eventually affect their productivity. How do I ease this tension between them and bring back the conducive atmosphere at the workplace that I so cherish? By the way, I want to approach them as a friend and not as a boss. How do I do this? Okay, so today's problem has to do with a boss. A boss himself has a problem with his employees instead of the other way around like we most usually experience or hear. And on this episode of My Boss and I have with me Nana K, and he's the expert who is going to help us solve this problem.
When it comes to solving problems at the workplace, especially if it has to do with your employees, it's very important that you understand them.
Yeah.
And in such instances, timing is very important. If you don't time if you don't time it properly, you might get it all wrong. So in such an instance, one of the things you do is that you try and get your employees together in the same place, and then you approach them, or you can start by approaching them individually, and then as a boss, you just tell them that, oh, I want to talk to you about something at say this point in time. So let's just say you give them around 12 or 1, a time that is conducive for you, because remember this, the more your employees are at each other's throats, the more it affects your productivity.
Yeah, that's true.
So then your productivity will become low. So then you need to be able to make that consideration or compromise. So if you're going to do it during working hours, you do it during working hours. Then you get them all to sit down, to come in. So probably you just tell them that you're trying to be a friend to them and all that, but don't necessarily don't tell them you're being a friend. Just welcome them in. And once you have all 3 of them in, then you just jump right to the point. And then you address the issue as a friend, not as a boss. You address them because with them working for you, even though they see you as a boss, you coming across as a friend helps them greatly, because then they can trust you.
Yeah, that's true.
And so you approach them as friends, and then you talk to them, and then you give them that feedback. Let them know that you know there's a problem happening between them, and that you want to fix that problem. You know that problem is not going to be able, you cannot fix that problem overnight.
Yeah.
But then you want to resolve it because you know that that tension is not good for the work environment. And then once you approach them that way, and you give them that issue, you prompt them in that manner, you just give them an opportunity to express themselves. So probably this person is going to bring about the problem and tell you exactly why the issue came about, or why they are not at peace with one another.
How they used to be, because that needs to be like known. That needs to be on the table.
Exactly, and the thing is, having people vent out is a good form of therapy, because more often than not, whenever we have things that we want to say, the longer we keep them in, the more it harms us.
That's true. That's true.
So then you need to be able to let them express everything. Look, take time. It doesn't matter if it's going to take an hour, 2 hours, even if it's the whole day. I know productivity may be affected as a result of this time, but then remember that long-term productivity may be affected if you don't act as soon as possible.
From the problem, that was one of the main reasons why our boss here wants to solve this particular problem, because that's what he's scared of, the productivity.
Exactly.
And I'm sure it's the long-term productivity he meant.
Exactly. So you take the whole day as a boss, just take the whole day if possible, and then try and let them resolve it. So let each person talk about their problem. There's going to be arguments, probably people are going to speak on top of their voices and all those things, but you need to calm them down. And sometimes let your actions prove that you are, even though you have come to them as a friend, you are a boss, so that they will respect themselves around you enough to try and resolve those issues. Now, once you've given them an opportunity to talk, you sit down and then try to analyze the problem. Now, don't over-analyze it, because sometimes it may be something trivial. Sometimes it may be something very serious.
Something somebody said, that's one of the trivial things.
Exactly. And then once you are able to analyze the situation and analyze the problem, and you're able to find out that, okay, this is what happened, this is what caused the entire conflict. Now it's time to find practical solutions to it.
Yeah, that's necessary.
Yeah, so then you take time and then you try to find out, okay, so probably the problem was from this person, the problem was from this person, the problem was from this person, or this person did not approach the problem or the issue the right way, and because of that it escalated into that problem. So because of that, once you're able to analyze the root cause of the problem, you talk to each and every one of them and then let them understand that, okay, this problem came as a result of this. You're not condemning them, you're not being judgmental, but then you just try and offer solutions.
Yeah, to it.
And then let them know that, look, as long as you are within the office setting, you are bound to have set some of these issues, but resolving it is very important, because once you're able to resolve it, we're able to move on well as a company. Then it helps you, it helps your company. And then another thing is, this is very important, you need to tell them to respect the boundaries of each other's, respect each other's boundaries. So don't overstep the boundaries. Probably, yes, this person has allowed you in to a certain point. Even if he hasn't told you that I have boundaries here, it doesn't mean that you should always try and overstep. Probably you do it the first time, the person may ignore. You do it the second time, they may ignore. But as you consistently do it, they might end up becoming defensive, and that might cause some level of friction.
Yeah, and
so
conflicts in the workplace.
Exactly. So tell them to respect one another. And as they end up respecting each other, you realize that relationships start to build up. So that issue will be a thing of the past. Now, be wary that this issue is not going to take probably a day to fix. Some might take a day to fix, but not all of them might take a day to fix. Some might take extra time, a lot of time to fix. But then you need to be able to give them that opportunity to learn, to be able to adapt to one another, and gradually get over the hurt or pain that problem may have caused to one person or the other. That way you get to fix the problem at work, and then the relationships start becoming better.
Yeah, and then a conducive work environment begins once again.
Exactly.
Okay. On this show, I want my viewers to always have the points on hand in case they face any of these problems wherever they go. So if you can summarize the points you just mentioned for us again.
Okay, so the first thing is to make sure that you do it at the right time. You call them and then address the problem at the right time. If you come when one person is moody, or you come when another person is not in the mood, it will cause a problem. So make sure you have the right time, and then pick an appropriate time within the day to fix it. Secondly, you need to address the issue. Once you have them all in one place, address the issue and let everyone know exactly why you called them there. Then after that, you give everyone the opportunity to voice out, to speak up about the problem that they have. And then once every person has spoken, you analyze that problem. You take your time and analyze it. And then once you're done analyzing, you take practical steps to fix that problem. And then at the end, you just tell each and everyone to respect each other's boundaries.
Thank you, Nana. I really appreciate you helping us to solve this issue.
Thank you, Della, for having me.
Okay, so there you go, guys. There you have the points right there at your fingertips, and I'll just like you to know that don't keep these tips to yourself. You can share them with friends, or I'm sure like a couple of you have friends who are bosses, so you can share it with them as well, just for them to have it on hand in case they enter into any problem like this. So see you next time. Enjoy your day, because I'm definitely going to enjoy. One thing I'm also asking you to do, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my Boss and I.